Welcome home. We are WNST, AM 1570, Towson, Baltimore. Baltimore positive. Man, I got my purple on. This is what happens. The Orioles start like not playing so great. I can just put purple on right now, and Ravens are still undefeated. For now, I mean, hope it lasts a couple of weeks, but for now, we're going to be doing the Maryland Crab Cake Tour beginning on September the 4th. We're going to be at Coco's. My dear friend, first time ever, Mark Viviano and I are going to sit down. Call Viv right now. He knows it's not going to be kayfabe if he's hanging out with me. So we're going to be over at Coco's having a crab cake. Mike Resigliano is going to be there talking about art, talking about Kansas City and Baltimore, Patrick Mahomes, and we're going to have Raven scratch-offs. I will not have the Gold Rush Sevens doublers. I'll be out of these. It'll be all Ravens, but it's time we get there on the 4th. We're doing 26 oysters and 26, eating a dozen a day, not doing it. But I'm going to eat a whole bunch of oysters. John Shields is all set up over Gertrude's. We're going to be moving all over the region, really all over the state, onto the Eastern Shore, back down to Ocean City with the mayor of Ocean City, as well as Congressman John Sarbanes. A whole bunch of people want to eat an oyster with me. So he was a courageous man who first ate an oyster. So we know they're safe now. We're going to have a great conversation right now because Wendy Bronfein's on. She is our chief cannabis officer. She's the chief brand officer for all things Curio. I do love that you guys have orange and purple Curio swag so that when I'm not feeling good about the Orioles pitching or they're hitting or they're I can put on purple and at least. So you're ready for the season, right?
Definitely. It's very exciting. And the opener is interesting because we just expanded and launched in Missouri in the spring, and we got Kansas City against us. And so as a company, we're like, yay, Missouri. And as football fans, we're like, well, we better beat them.
Listen, we both like Wes more. I mean, I'll say I like Wes. He hadn't been on the show recently, and we're working on that. But when I saw Wes down canoodling with the Commanders, and realizing they play in our state, right? So he's kind of gotta do it. But I saw him down there, attaboying with them, and I'm thinking, he didn't really mean that. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? Like I can hang out with Tomlin, but he knows I don't want him to win.
Yeah. I mean, I tried to get the group here to go. I was like, well, if we're at the season or openers there and the business is there now, maybe we should go to that game. But I couldn't get anyone to do that.
You don't want to offend anybody out there.
Yeah. But we're going to do a watch party here with a bunch of bud tenders. So we'll have fun.
Well, listen, I'll talk about your bud tent. I want to talk about my experience in your places, and I've got move products that are going to help me once I decide to shave and get myself, off the grid for a couple days and relaxing. I'm doing a lot of writing, as people know. I'm a man of letters. When I'm going to be writing some letters to people, but I just want to talk about your place a little bit because the 420 thing happened. It wasn't just your thing; it was everywhere because of online, and there's just so many ways now where my wife is an online shopper. So when my wife wants to go on Foreign Daughter, and she's done this, she is an online, put it in the basket, put your little medical number, do all that, and then show up. I would just say that your brand and just in general, adult use a year into this, it reminds me a little bit, don't take this the wrong way, of being in a doctor's office when I was a kid, and we are talking medical, or being at a pharmacy that's backed up during the winter when everybody's got the flu and you got to wait. There's a little bit of that, and I know you're doing stuff as a company to make it a little bit more, and I dare say, like, when you stop by the liquor store, you go in, you get what you want. You can usually get out. And even if you're in a big place, you can get out in a couple of minutes. Even my friends at King Liquors on a Friday afternoon with their cash and check, you get out. I know that your industry and what Curio was and has always been, and the frontage of being able to buy all sorts of sort of apothecary, different items and things like that. You're trying to make the experience better for everybody. I know you're working really hard on that.
Yeah. So with regards to adult use, definitely so many more people coming through. We do see the same sort of pattern in sort of times of day that get busy, but obviously in and around the weekends totally gets more intense.
And you do sales. You don't just do little sales. You do a day where, like, I plan what day I'm going to come in to get my move because Curio products are 25% off on Fridays.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And there's certain thematic promotions that go on that drive more people. We've brought on an expediter in the dispensary. So there's someone to sort of manage the queue and pull people through the line faster, and
Even
place them at.
online, like you make your order and it says, we'll get back to you. You get back you get back really quick to let me know, hey, it's there, it's cool, I can come over. You don't wait out. So like I'm an anti-fill stuff out online guy. You know this about me. I hate filling out forms. We have our new tech service coming with this Canadian company, and they've got me filling out federal forms. I'm like, you got the wrong guy. I don't do that. I'm not an online shopper in that way. I mean, when Wise Markets came on as a sponsor back during the plague, and everybody was shopping online. And part of my shtick with them was like, all right, show me that I can actually order an apple online and make this happen. You know what I mean? Because I'm just not that guy. But I think with your store, my wife has taught me this might be the better way to handle it than to come in. And we've all talked about your Cheesecake Factory kind of menu where there's just a million things. You're better off shopping at home, clicking and stop. You'll just have a better experience from where my wife has been for me saying, yeah, I'm going to go over and pick up something because I really like these two. You got me hooked on these to have a better day, good day, choose. And
Yeah.
I just say, well, I'm going to go shop and stop by. That's not a quick thing when you're having a sale because your place is really
Yeah.
popular. It really is.
Yeah. I mean, I think, well, you have people who are, you still have continual new people coming in. Like it's been around for a year, but that's not very long in the grand scheme of things. So you've got people who want more consultative shopping, and then or you have people like you who's like, I just don't want to do it online. I know what I want, but I can come in and say it. And then you've got the online. I mean, once you know what, if you're sort of like, we'll call it refilling, replenishing, you know what you like. The online is really nice because whether you're adult use or medical, you can build your cart. We build the order. You show up, you
And you
pay
don't have
for
to
it, and you
say,
take
is it
it.
on sale? You look at it and say
Yeah.
it's and listen, I'm from Dundalk. Don't let me admit this to you in the middle of our friendship but like I'm looking for the sale, right? And if it's not on
Right.
sale today, I'm like, all right, what is it? Oh, Friday. Okay. Oh, Tuesday. Oh, whatever it is, like I'll go that day and
You
just
and every other cannabis shopper.
correct. And that's why I can't get in and I need to order online so I can. And I know that you're doing some things there, especially with traffic and ingress and egress, that we talk about this all the time. By the way, I took a cheap shot at Brooke Learman about taxes last week. She didn't like that. We got back after it at Ocean City about taxes on cannabis and everything in general while it was tax-free week in Baltimore, including standing in front of dumpsters with her and having an ice cream, which we all shared last week as well. But I just think, like, I don't want to say your business has grown. I mean, look, Chick-fil-A is not a sponsor. I saw they're doing 4 lanes of drive-by now.
Right.
Troy Cathy did not plan 4 lanes of drive. We're all evolving, right? Literally. And you're trying to make my experience to order this product as seamless as you can.
Yeah. Well, two things. One is with online ordering, we also don't have to be open, right? So if it's the night, if we've closed the day before, if it's the morning before we open, those can all get into the queue and we have them ready. And then when the state first launched adult use, we were not allowed to provide curbside service to adult use patients. We were only allowed to provide it to medical, but that recently changed. So in our property, we sort of have an what I would call an upper and a lower parking lot, and that lower level has now become the curbside zone.
Can
And
I admit
so,
something to you?
yeah.
I've known you a long time. I knew you before I knew you. I knew your brand before that. I've never been to the back door of my life. I didn't even, you know what I mean? Like I've
Well, it
never.
wasn't always ours. So it used to be a lacrosse store, and then when they left, we took it over. And
Ah.
then
I just started kind of seeing it when I drive out, and
yes.
I'm like, oh, because people were parking down there and walking up, and it didn't feel awful safe, and people getting in one way in and one way out, and people don't backing up. And so I'm just saying, like, I don't think you thought, well, we'd like to have 1 million people here, and now it's more like, oh,
Yeah.
the backside is something I've never used that I probably should use. I guess that's my point,
Yeah. So if you enter from Aylesbury rather than York Road,
which I've never done.
yes, you can there's more parking spots, and then you can also take advantage of all of the curbside. So if you want to, if the weather's bad, if you don't feel well, if you have kids in the car, if you just want to get in and go, like you pull into a spot, There's a sign with directions of what to do, and we come out, you pay for it, we give it to you, and you leave. I actually did it last week before heading down to the beach. So yeah, I mean, that's definitely another option. And it's great that now we can offer that service to both medical and adult use.
All right. Wendy Bronfein is here. She's our Chief Cannabis Officer, Chief Brand Officer at not just Curio Wellness and Far and Daughter. Give everybody the delineation on that, because I have friends that shop at other dispensaries in Hartford County, wherever. They see Curio products. That's your stuff, but Far and Daughter is your storefront.
Correct. Yeah. So Curio Wellness is the kind of parent company, the whole company. Far and Daughter is the retail brand under that. Far and Daughter is Swedish for father and daughter. The company was started by me and my dad, so it's a nod to that. And so we have a retail store here in Baltimore County. We have another one in Elkton, Maryland, and our first franchise opened the beginning of this year in Mississippi, and the second one will be opening in New Jersey early in 2025.
All right. So since the last time we got together, Max Weiss and I share, like, I would say now, a real friendship. I mean, I've known Max 35 years probably since I thought she was a dude at the City Paper a long time ago. And so we watched a movie together. We watched
Oh,
Shampoo.
right.
We watched
Yeah.
Shampoo together 2 weeks ago at Alan's house in his basement. We had delicious crab cakes from a non-crab cake sponsor that I'm going to plug anyway because of Crab Queen. It was delicious. So go see the Crab Queen. She's awesome. She has an awesome crab cake. She's out on Liberty Road, right in the back of a plaza, and it's awesome. So go hook her up. She's a good lady. And I'm going to go do a crab cake with her one day, maybe with you one day. We'll have her crab cakes at your place. I tried that last year with Gina Shock. I
Yeah.
wanted to make her my crab cake that day, and I couldn't because she was unavailable because of Christmas. She has small business. So nonetheless, free plug for her. So since the last time I got together, Max and I got together, and it's part of my shtick with her. Like, I have stuff laying around, like the CFL. I have laying around Best of Baltimore awards, pictures. I was the best single one year, like I did. Yeah, yeah, laugh away. Title Bomb's laughing too. They're all laughing at me. But you got the big banana this year, best dispensary, all that. And if Max would say stuff that I don't win anymore, they don't let me win anymore. But that's my shtick with her. I said, now, like, we're friends, the fix is in. You can never let me be best of her. They'll say it's crooked. It's fine. It's fine.
Right.
I'm on the inside, but you won. So I know it's not crooked. And listen, as far as best dispensary, I am no stranger to dispensaries. There were people at an event I went to with you that have a dispensary in my son's neighborhood and in Dundalk where you sell into there with Curio products, right? So people have been to other places, and look, man, I'm old school, right? So going out to Colorado 10 years ago, they look like head shops. They look like traditional. So it sort of, then some of them look like the Willy Wonka candy store where there were jars, and so there's so many different ways to do this. And then the video came online, right? Where everything looked like televisions and it looked like a Willy Wonka factory. You and your sister specifically, and your father, your family, you wanted to build something out of massage, wellness, holistic wellness, all of that sort of post GNC sort of product type of thing. And your father comes from this pharmaceutical background. When you win best of, that's not an accident, right? I mean, you never really wanted your place to look and feel like anything that felt like old world pharmaceutical, that sort of thing. You have a different feel about your place than a lot of places you just stop and buy an eighth.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we had been to dispensaries out west before Maryland had a program. A lot of it started through that medical space of thinking, okay, the person who comes to medical cannabis is usually exhausted sort of Western options relative to their needs. And then that means that they're probably open to other products and services that may fall into kind of other wellness spaces. And so then that's how we came up with this concept of not only having the dispensary, but having this front of house retail that had lots of different kind of wellness products, local products, things like that. And then the spa that has acupuncture and skincare services and massage and things like this. And so it's really, and part of it was back in medical also, it meant that two parts, right, spa and front of house, we're open to everyone. The whole community could take part in it. If you were in the medical program, you can go in the dispensary, but otherwise you could shop or enjoy the other spaces. Now that it's adult use, everyone can take advantage of all parts of it. But, you know, sometimes we say like making it comfortable for grandma and soccer moms, right? Like everything that you described is sort of
That's what I see when I'm in there.
right, like the
It's
shadowy,
astonishing for
right.
how stigmatized the plant was, the use of it. I see you can't just smoke it anywhere. That shows up all the way to Ocean City on signs. I see
Yeah.
all of that. But then I come in your place and it's a complete cross section of every part of what would look like Timonium, Cockeysville, Hunt Valley, Baltimore, East Side, West Side of 83. Just people. It's just everyday people are in your place every day.
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of times, even from like from the policy standpoint, when you're trying to get people to break the stigma, I often say like, come sit on the bench in the front of house, like in that retail space, and just watch for a bit. Like all ages, everyone's there. Like this is not any whatever, stereotype you want to put on who you think the shopper is. It just really isn't. And to be honest, I would say the majority of it really sits between probably mid 30s to upper 60s, right? And it has a lot to do with like just life, right? While there's definitely, and I think we can acknowledge that in medical there was this too, but like while there's definitely people who like it for a social purpose, right? Instead of a glass of wine or something else. Everyone is also just like, I need to sleep. Something hurts, relax, anxiety. Like it's just, or, worst case scenario, you've been diagnosed with something and it's helping that. But like most people, even in the adult use world, are just looking to relax, to sleep, or to deal with pain. Those are the top three people, three things, whether you're medical or adult use.
All right. Well, we've done enough of this. Your name is associated with the CFG Bank Arena. Usher's coming to town. Pearl Jam's coming to town. They spelled Springsteen's name wrong on a billboard up in Philadelphia today. He's coming to town. Styx is in town that same night down at the Lyric. My friends in Styx. So I'm playing the Nils Lofgren interviews here the next couple of weeks. Also, my guys in Styx. So if you hear that on the radio, you see it out at Baltimore Positive, it's because the bands are coming to town. These are the good times, right? Like the downtown's starting to rock. You got the orange out, the purple out. Despite how you feel about the Orioles lately, they're going to be playing in October. I still feel like we have some exciting things. Kids are back in school. Good stuff's happening, right, Wen?
Absolutely. I mean, when we were approached about the redevelopment of the arena, I mean that really attracted us because it's just another space where it's like investing in our city, right? And in my mind, like that arena, if successful, which it is already, but as it continues to be, when it wasn't really open yet, it's an epicenter, right? If the arena becomes popular, businesses come around there, restaurants open, there's things to do, it becomes an entertainment center. Offices space gets taken up because it's attractive to be there. People want to live near it. God willing, a grocery store opens because we have that problem in the city. But like, it could really be part of this big revitalization moment, and the city deserves it so much. It's so much better than the chip on its shoulder and what other people outside of our own area think of us. So it's really exciting, and the acts we're getting are amazing.
I'm in. If I could, my wife's trying to find an Usher ticket. I'll get into Pearl Jam. I'll figure it out before the month is over. But this is good times. Labor Day right around the corner. Our friends at Far and Daughter are right around the corner. With all sorts of I can hold stuff up. But the thing that I would tell people, even if you're not a smoker, you're not an inhaler, you're not a gummy, you're not a chew, you've never taken an Advil in your tablet in your life. Get rid of the Bengay, get rid of the Absorbine Junior and that stuff, and move to this product. Move to move is what I would say. I keep this product around. There's two for I'm not as much into the transdermal gel as I am the balmy. You know this. It is getting a little. I'm getting down to the. Oh, it might be time to shop again. I got this about 4 months ago, but it lasts. I got this in April. It's August, and I'm finally running out of it. And I don't want to say it's every day. It's almost every day. And certainly when I'm Planet Fitnessing or yogaing or walking, 50,000 steps at the beach during Mako, or sitting a lot, sitting in a car, I'll put it on if I'm driving to Cleveland for a concert, just because having it on me loosens me up. And especially after a hot shower.
Oh yeah. I mean, I do like the Peloton workouts, and this one of the trainers has a program called Glutes and Legs, and it's 4 weeks, and I've done it before and I'm doing it again now,
I'm
and it's
out on that.
intense.
I don't do legs. I don't
Well,
do leg day.
it's
You seen
intense.
my
And
legs? I mean,
yeah.
if you see my legs, I don't do leg day.
But like yesterday, I did it and I was like, I'm going to be destroyed. Like, I'm going to be sore in my back from holding these heavy weights. My legs are going to be sore. So, like you said, after the shower, I put it on and I have not gotten sore post workout yet. And it's just like you can stop it even before it happens, which is really awesome.
I hit the mat on Monday. I was sore as hell. My left hip was like, I went to bed. I was on ice a little bit, but I put that on after the shower. I watched the Orioles lose and not get any hits. I did. And I woke up and I felt great. So I will highly recommend the Move product by our friends at Curio Wellness. I wear the Curio gear around here from time to time. Sometimes it's purple, sometimes it's orange, sometimes it says I'm a blunt person, and you can figure out what that's all about. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be doing a lot of writing, a lot of letters to folks. We're going to be eating a lot of oysters. Wendy, it's very important. We used to ask this question like at Thanksgiving: are you pumpkin pie, apple pie, mincemeat pie, whatever? When it comes to oysters, some do, some don't. I only really had them one way my whole life, being a Dundalk kid, at oyster roast with shucked, raw, bunch cocktail sauce, some lemon. I ate oysters. And I like oysters, but once Damie down at Fadley's brought me fried oysters about a year and a half ago, I started to rethink it a little bit. And then once I had those charbroiled oysters at the Super Bowl down in New Orleans 12 years ago with the butter and the garlic and the open flame, and then the oysters rock. So then I started thinking, I like oysters. Do you like oysters?
Yes, but I don't know that I've ever eaten them cooked. I only eat them raw. And
Right.
I do lean more towards like small to medium, like when they're really big, I get like a little too like the
No, I don't like
mouth
that.
feels not
Okay.
the best.
Okay.
But yeah, yeah, no, it's definitely I would order a plate of oysters for sure, or share a bunch.
So if I get them cooked, will you try? I mean, you've never had an oyster grilled with butter and garlic. You've never had that, or cheese on top, nothing like that.
No, and I don't know why it just
All right.
doesn't even
You
sound like appealing.
this is
It's just like an only raw
exactly
food.
this is exactly what I said to Damie. I said to Damie, listen, no offense to your fried oyster, but this is Fadley's. And when I come in here, I'm getting a crab cake. I might get some soup just because it might be a cold day and that's what I'm into. I'm going to load up on French fries. The coleslaw looks great. I might get a beer. If I'm going to eat an oyster, it's going to be raw off the bar because I see it there. I might get steamed shrimp. So it's so far down. It's like people say I don't eat calamari. I'm like, it's just because you didn't go to Amici's and it wasn't at the top of the menu and you've eaten the shrimp scale. You got other things. And I feel that way about oysters in general. And I'm going to talk all month about it with the Oyster Recovery Partnership and what they do with the shells and how they seed the bay and how the oysters make the crabs, and just in a general sense, what oysters do to oxygenate the bay, which really helps my other sponsor at Liberty Pure Solutions because they keep your water clean at wells. Oysters are the well water of making crabs healthy. So I'm learning all of this stuff along. Damie's teaching me all this stuff, right? But then they're delicious. And then I think to myself, all right, I've never had an oyster with cheese and bacon, and I've had spinach, that's Rockefeller, but they're delicious in all of these ways. And I'm thinking, all right, let's get creative. I had never had oyster stew. Really. It's just, I order the crab soup. I just
Right.
never order it. It's not that I wouldn't like it or that it's unappealing to me. It's just sort of like five things are in line in front of it in a restaurant. So this time I'm going to change that. I'm going to move the oyster to the front and order an oyster of some kind at a lot of weird places. And then I'm going to get a steak or some kebabs or whatever they have. But because I'm not eating a dozen oysters a day every day for 20. I'm just not doing that. I've told these people that. The oyster recovery people are crazy. They think I'm eating 3 dozen a day. No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
But will
your
you come
odds
eat an
of
oyster
getting
with me?
sick at some point really increase with that
Stop with
move.
that. We don't We don't talk about that before the playoffs. We don't talk about that. So Wendy Bronfein, well, you will come have an oyster with me.
Oh yeah.
All right, good. All right, I'm gonna hold you to that next month. We're gonna find the right place. The right place to find Wendy Bronfein locally is Far and Daughter. You do have another dispensary out in Cecil County, correct? Tell everybody about that.
Yeah. Elkton, Maryland. They're right near the state line, so to speak. Great store. It was a store that existed before and we purchased it. So it's going to be going through a remodel in the new year to take on the Far and Daughter look, but great team up there, great store up there. And if you're north or if you're traveling to the northern part of the state, you should stop on by. It's called Farm Kent Wellness.
Is it
It'll
close to
be,
Chesapeake City where they have that beautiful bridge? I had a great crab cake there one time.
no, it's right on,
It's Elkton. It's on the other side of the Finger Lake there. Because if you
it's,
go around Elkton, like south, like down toward Dover, but on the Maryland side, Chesapeake City, if you get up there, go to Chesapeake City. Don't even Google it. Just go to Chesapeake City and plan to have lunch there. You'll pull
okay.
over that bridge and you'll be like, oh my God, this is beautiful. And I'm telling you, it's 10 minutes from your store. It's got to be. It's got to be.
All right. Yeah,
Chesapeake
we're
City.
right off Pulaski Highway.
Okay, so you are, yeah, you're way on the Elkton 95 side. If you just go around the corner, like literally right around where the top of the bay is there, on the Maryland side, Chesapeake City. This is the things I learned when you and the Maryland Lottery and Liberty Pure and Jiffy, they send me out to do crab cakes and oysters. Wendy Bronfein is here. She is our friend from Curio Wellness and Far and Daughter. She's out on the front of Baltimore Positive. They're over at Far and Daughter in Timonium with the new fancy smancy stop back in the backside off Aylesbury thing that I've never done. Next time I get with you, I will experience the back door just to figure out what it's all about, and I'll take a picture. How about that?
Yes.
Enjoy Usher, okay?
I'm not going. My parents are going though. Isn't that an unexpected answer?
What?
I know.
I can't
I
stop the
know.
segment on that. I can't drop the mic on that.
Yeah.
Your
Well,
dad liked the drums in Usher's music?
super
Or?
popular show.
Incredibly popular.
And limited tickets, and you know, that's always,
Mom and dad saw them on the Super Bowl and said, we're going to see Usher. You ain't getting tickets. Kids are
yeah.
staying home tonight.
Yeah. They always get the privilege first. They're the parents.
Cheap shot on your dad. I got to get your dad back on the show. I'm also going to feature that. Gina Shock and I came out and got a whole education. It was one of my favorite segments last year with your dad, Michael. You can find that out in the repository at YouTube or wherever. I haven't shared it yet on Facebook. I don't know why. It's still in my still needs to be shared folder since last December. So I better get it out before this December. But you can find the folks at Far and Daughter. Enter your birthday in. Make sure you're of the legal age. And go discover what the plan can do. I'm an advocate and a proud advocate and talk about it all the time. So we're proud to do that. Our friends at Far and Daughter and Curio, and they give me good swag to wear, including next week. I'll have my I'm a blunt person shirt on, and yeah, you'll be reading. Wendy, have a great holiday. Enjoy Labor Day. I'll see you next week, okay?
Thanks. You too.
Wendy Bronfein from Curio Wellness and Far and Daughter. I am Nestor. We're putting the crab cake tour together. Our friends at the Maryland Lottery. I would hold up the Ravens scratch-offs, but I don't have them yet. But I will have them by the time we get to Coco's on the 4th. And then on the 5th, it's 26 oysters in 26 days. And all month long, I'm going to be talking with people who are like, oysters, you're squishy and you're slimy. And then some people think they're an aphrodisiac as well. But hey, I just want to take – there's a place doing lime, tequila, cilantro, avocado, then there's a whole line of oyster shooters. We're going to have a good month in September. Stay with us. We're Baltimore Positive.